Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, welcome to just another Monday. Welcome to You've Already Peaked Gaming Podcast. I don't know what you want from us. I'm not in the mood.
Yeah.
Trevor, sorry, your host, fucking Locarthemanbeast, he's fucking dying. I was going to try to not swear, but that's already gone. 35 seconds in, so cheers. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy with yourselves.
I am sick. Dude, I don't know what happened. So like Tuesday evening, I got home and I was like, I'm feeling, I almost thought it was like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I thought it was allergies at first. I was like, I'm a little stuffy. Like it's been really cold and windy. So it's like perfect time for it to just be awkward and for just like a weather change sickness. All right, no big deal. I was supposed to go out to Oakland Wednesday morning, and
that'll make you sick.
Yeah, and so that's what my boss said. He's like, "How fucking convenient." I was like, "Bro, I'll get in the car with you right now." And he's like, "No, I don't want you to go with me."
B-town, baby.
Yeah. So we go out to, or I get up in the morning and I drive to meet him because I got a bunch of the stuff, and I am like fucking on my way to like the deathbed type of thing. I'm like, I am not good right now. And then so I went home Wednesday and like I just tried to sleep, but it was like really that like you're like that pre-sickness sleep where like you kind of lay down but you're like kind of up and you're kind of like you fall asleep and you're kind of hot but you're kind of cold, and then like it's just like this revolving door feeling like shit. Wednesday night, all of a sudden it was like full blown, like hit me like a truck. And then I slept all day on Thursday. I woke up in the morning, I brushed my teeth, I grabbed some water, I went back to bed. I got up and took a piss, I went back to bed. Like that was it. I just slept all fucking day. You're good. And then today, same thing. I got up, I called my boss and I was like, I don't know what you want, man. I'm pretty fucking tore up right now. And he's like, all right.
I can hear it.
Yeah, dude.
In your soft palate.
Yeah, it's all fucking in my face and everything. But it's not just like, it's weird because it's not like a sinus cold in a sense. Like it's not like it's okay. COVID has like all that pressure in your face and everything. You just feel like hell. Yeah. It's not COVID because it's not there. Like it's like kind of in the back of my throat, but it's also not like full on like strep sinus with like my whole throat hurts. It's not even in my chest. Like the cough I have is like almost kind of just like almost post nasal in a sense. It's just all my fucking head, dude. I'm just like, like my whole head feels like it's just gonna blow up, and it's just like I'm just tired. I'm gassed, bro. Like I'm just so like I get up to do something and then I'm like, I need to go lay down. Like we text and you were like, let's do this at 6. And I was like, that's a great idea. I fucking went and took a nap on the couch.
To be fair, I kind of did too. I was just like 6 o'clock, cool.
It's powered down for an hour.
Yeah. I swear, sicknesses pre-COVID, I don't feel like we're ever this bad.
No.
Like the flu feels like it hurts more. Fucking, God, give me some strep. I don't want the flu or COVID anymore. Well, last time I had COVID wasn't bad.
The last time I had strep was terrible, dude. I'd rather.
I know. I said it and I was like, ugh.
I'd rather have COVID than strep, dude.
I don't know.
I will tell you, you are absolutely right. Well, I don't
want the fatigue. I'd rather deal with like the pain stuff. I don't want the fatigue and that fucking brain fog for fucking 4 days,
dude.
I think I'd rather just deal with like, oh, swallowing sucks.
Yeah.
And like that kind of hurt over just like the back pain. Oh, the back pain.
The body aches are brutal, man. Body aches in general. But I feel like every time I get sick now that there's just body aches. It just exists. Like I never used to have body aches.
This is why old people die of the flu. It's like you just get older. You're like, man, this is killing me.
Well, what's that whole idea is like, look at the average lifespan of humans now versus like 200 years ago. Like the reason why we hurt so bad as we get older is because we're not designed to be this age. Like, you know what I mean? Like the people, the elders of the village were like 36, Yeah.
We're elders. Take us out to fucking pasture and old yeller us.
Brain fog is brutal, bro. I went to Walmart because I was looking for.
I hate it,
bro.
It's my least favorite.
Here's the thing: conspiracy on itself. I mean, maybe that's what COVID was. COVID was just like a way of like destroying like the brain or whatever. Who fucking knows? I'll take any explanation at this point. But you are right. Sicknesses have never hit the same since COVID. So something. Anyway, I went to Walmart.
Thanks, Fauci.
I needed 4 fucking things. I needed 4 things. I wanted to get a paper towel holder because I broke mine. Just something I could just set the paper towel rolls on because they're just fucking roll in place. I needed socks and underwear. And I was looking for a utensil holder for like, your like.
By the way, can we give a quick shout out to And One Socks? Man, thank you for all that you do.
Dude,
I swear to God, like growing up, like we couldn't get fucking like you had to fold like regular socks to make ankle socks and fucking there was only like one size sock.
Yep.
And then And One just came out. They made great cheap socks.
Bro, it was that and the when Hanes did low cuts. Like the first like no show low cuts. Bro.
Like Hanes are pricey though. Why?
Yeah, but
What's going on here?
Hanes are pricey, but you also get a fuck ton in a pack.
You don't from fucking And One?
I don't know. I feel like
you go to Walmart, you pick up some fucking socks. It looks like you just went to fucking Costco and bought socks.
Yeah.
At Walmart. Yeah. They're selling them bitches bulk everywhere.
Yeah, I know, but like I bought a pack of socks for like $12.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's okay. So this Walmart also wait, hold
in
on.
This economy?
Hold on. Let's fucking go back to the brain. Go back to the brain fog, and then I will come back to this point. Okay, brain fog. A utensil holder for like all my kitchenware, right? Because I'm just like I don't have enough space. I need to start putting some things on the counter. So like all my like my noodle spatula and spatulas and shit like that. Like I need to have just like one of those round tins you can just put shit in. I got into Walmart and I'm like sick. I'm tired. I'm like, I just got to get this stuff and get the fuck out of here. Got down the aisle with the kitchenware, completely blanked on the whole reason I went to Walmart. And I stood in Walmart with an empty cart down a fucking kitchen aisle. Like, I know I'm here for a reason. What? I felt like Sean. I was just like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Just existing, just not a single brain cell talking to each other, just
nothing. And I was like,
it's just all midbrain functions right now. You're lucky I'm breathing and walking.
I swear to God. And I'm looking at the shelves, and as I'm passing by each of the items, trying to like help maybe jog my memory. My brain's going, we didn't come here for that. We didn't come here for that. And it's like, okay, what did we come here for? But no fucking idea. But we didn't come here for that. It's like, God damn it. So I get
just process of elimination walking through the whole store. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it.
So I found the paper towel holder, and that jogged enough of a memory to be like, that's what I needed. I put that in the cart. And then I couldn't remember the utensil thing until like when I was already gone out of kitchenware. And I was like, oh, fuck it, I don't need it that bad. And like went over to socks and underwear. First off, also the
3 aisles back, we've gone too far.
Walmarts aren't small, they're kind of big, man. So anyways,
it also depends on the Walmart.
Yeah. And well, the one in Natomas, So I get to socks.
Some Walmarts are like route Irish, like you're just speeding through there as quick as you can. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Fucking socks and underwear are locked behind glass cases. Like, there's the Hennessy, socks and underwear, and like, Sudafed.
You're easy, bud.
Call it like I see it. I'm not fucking lying.
Dude, we can't. Listen, you need to calm down.
The fact is that it is there. It's like going to the CVS. Did I tell you about that? Telling you about going to CVS? I need a fucking toothbrush. I need a toothbrush and fucking nail clippers. The toothbrushes are behind a locked case. Unfortunately, it's the area in which I live in, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be race oriented, but it's definitely poverty oriented. You know.
Then why'd you throw in the Hennessy?
Because
it felt like you were cherry picking it there a little bit.
I might have been cherry picking. It's not, again, it's not me digging down on a race, but I don't know, man. It could be a million different things. The Hennessy's always behind locked cases, though, ain't it? Call it like I see it. It's fucking fact. It's fact. They started putting Tito's behind locked cases.
There's I think it's not even a Rayleigh's, like, you know, like the snobby, like Knob Hill. Like there's one of those, and it was on the way home from like Elk Grove. It was out in like Rancho Murrieta.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped by there just to like get something. I was like, oh, I'll grab like a bottle of bourbon or something like that. The $40 Hennessy was locked up. The $300 bourbons were not. It's like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Why?
But it's also
not to beg the obvious question. Why are we locking this up?
But it was also one of those things, like I had the question about the underwear, because I told the lady what I needed. She's like, okay, well, I'll take them up to the register. They'll be at register too. I'm like, they're fucking socks and underwear. Like, what are you tripping about? But then I started realizing it's because of the price. Look, I don't fault nobody for stealing a 3-pack of underwear for $15. You know what I mean? Like those Hanes, like crotch pockets that we get, dude, they're $15 a pack for 3. You know what I mean? And so
I think on Amazon,
they're they're cheaper for sure on Amazon, but it's also like delivering from Amazon's kind of sketchy around here. So anyway, the fact is that
I actually did just see, it was like a Reddit post that was like CVS and like Walgreens and like certain people are moving away from locking up their things because people aren't buying stuff anymore.
Well,
because like their whole store is locked up, and like, and somebody's like, yeah, because I don't want to fucking sit there for 13 minutes waiting for one person in your fucking store to get off a cash register to come open up some fucking toothpaste for me. I'll go home and Amazon it. Aaron
literally just sent me an Instagram like not 10 minutes ago. I was like a comedian joking about it. He's like, and of course, when you walk up, you got to be all hella humble. Like, excuse me, can you please come and help me unlock this? And he's like, and then you got to hold him like your hand, like you're out on a date. Like, hey, this, because other customers come up trying to steal your worker, and you got to be like, hey, don't look at them when you're with me. You know, but it's
true though.
But that was it. I went to the CVS next to my house, and I was like, I just needed a toothbrush. That's all I needed. It's just a fucking toothbrush. Like I needed a toothbrush. It's a toothbrush. It's fucking $3. It's locked up behind a case. So then I'm standing there. I'm like, there's a security guard and there's someone at the register. I'm like, hey, where is everyone? I need someone to unlock this for me. The dude's like, it's probably that lady there. Like, there's someone in the back. But I'm like, it was like 8:00 at night. I was like, all right, I'm out. Like, I'll finger fuck my mouth for another day if I have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just wild. It was just wild. So anyway, I get to the fucking register. And this is brain fog again. I tell the lady, hey, I got socks and underwear. And she's like, which ones are they? I was like, oh, I got Hanes. And she's like, you can point them out to me. And so like I go over to the register too, and I'm like, yeah, those are them. Not even paying attention. And she just grabs them, and like I pay for them, and I come home. The next day I get up and I'm like, all right, new underwear. Pop them up. Not even my fucking socks and underwear. Just like complete, like just another set of socks and underwear. So it's like, God damn it. And it's not like I couldn't have been like, fuck it, whatever. I'll just wear these. They were like a size small. You know what I mean? I'm like, God damn it. So I had to go all the way back to Walmart, return them, do the whole thing. It was just.
That's tight. Because then not only are you returning them, you're once again holding somebody's hand to go back to walk them over to you.
Oh, so then, but during the day, maybe I just got the lady who did not give a shit. I was like, I need socks and underwear. She's like, which ones? I was like, these and these. She just handed them to me. She's like, all right, have a good day. And I was like, okay, thank you.
Thank you. You don't know what you've done for me here today.
Oh man, but that's been the loop of bullshit, like of just the sickness and then having to deal with. I've forgotten what it's like to live in an area like this. You know what I mean? Where it's really like the stores don't have things. You know what I mean? I can drive 10 minutes on the other side of Natomas where all the rich houses are and all the rich people are. That shit's nice and stocked up. You know what I mean? But if you want something convenient that's right next to your house on this side of the freeway, boy, you're fucking slim pickings. You know what I mean? It's a wild, drastic demographic difference just by a section of a freeway. You know what I mean? It's like, oh God, it feels.
You can drive 10 minutes and get something though.
I can.
That must be nice.
Yeah, well, I didn't pick to live in the fucking middle of nowhere where there's still people who haven't been out of the woods since Nam. You know what I mean? Like,
I swear to God, I have Wendigos.
It's you're saying.
I'm fucking. I was looking for a cat the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like nighttime, I just call them and I put them away in like the RV garage while it's like still cold, so they don't like get hunkered down somewhere and freeze. And I was calling the cats, and I found all but one. And I was like, "Oh, hey, come on, bud, come on!" I've been calling, like trying to get them. There's 4 cats, and I'm just looking for one, and he's the smallest one, right? And I'm walking around, and I'm like, "Hey, come on!" I don't have my glasses on. Probably fault number 1. It was a full moon, so shadows were a little like weird and stuff like that. I'm going around, I'm shaking, and I kind of hear something move. I'm like, "Hey, come on, bud, come on!" And I don't know, it was just me, but like there's just like a slight shift in like a shadow. I was like, "Oh, that's got to be him. That's got to be him." So like, "Come on, bud, come on!" I'm walking like up the hill a little bit and going towards it, but like I don't see anything, and I have like my phone flashlight out, so I'm like, "Come on, bud, come on!" I'm like shaking. I'm getting closer. I'm like, where did it go? Where did it go? And then I hear like, yeah, like way back at the garage. And then that like instant like hair stand up. Like, what was I staring at? Walking towards? Ugh. I swear to God, I'm gonna get just randomly. There's not gonna be a podcast one day, or it'll be you and Sean. What happened to Brad? Don't know. He hasn't responded to my text in 4.5 weeks.
And they say like living next to like running water like that charges like energy and things of that nature. Plus you live like in that area is like, I mean, we have quartz mines out in that area for a reason. So like quartz and running water, natural springs and stuff like that. It's like high energy base. You say you got ghosts, like I'm sure you got some supernatural bullshit out there. Talk about supernatural bullshit. Last weekend I went to Cash Creek Casino.
Okay, please tell me how this segues.
I saw a medium, like an actual medium, like a show with a medium.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm back in. I'm so back in.
I'm not the type of person that
like my
great Aunt Dorothy. You know, it's a wild experience. So this is a lady, her name's like Teresa Caputo or something like that. She's like fairly famous.
Sure, yeah.
She's got a bunch of shows and stuff like that. And when you see things on like, you know, whatever those shows are, like, you know, the lifestyle shows or whatever, and you watch them, you're always like, it's just reality TV. It could be anything, you know? And then you see it in like live experiences or whatever. yeah. That's first off. Yeah. The hair.
Right, come on, focus. The hair. Come on. Whoa. Nothing that anybody can say. Elvira ain't got shit on that blowout.
And I thought for a second.
Please tell me it's like that in person too.
It's bigger. It's all real. That's not a wig, nothing, man. It's just her. So let me preference this by saying she is fucking hysterical. Like, if she ever stops talking to ghosts, she's got a real shot at a comedian. She is fucking funny.
Well, first off, you got to be a showmanship if you're selling bullshit.
Well, that's okay. So
second off, you got to get people on your side if you're selling bullshit.
How much of it was bullshit? I don't know. I can't really compete with certain things. I don't know about it. There was one guy that she was like trying to, you know, she like goes through her thing is like, you know, I don't have any real idea how this works. Just things happen, and then I just start talking about them, and it just starts happening like on the point. So she started off like you picked someone immediately, and then was like, and then she moved off to somebody else, and then there was a bunch of people that were like, "Oh, that's me," and she's like, "Okay, let's talk." And then someone else was like, no, that sounds more like me," and she'd be like pale off to that person. Then she'd go through this whole explanation to talk, and then people would be like oh no, that is really about me, you know? It was a weird thing. So like some of it I kept trying to like tell myself like how much of this is real? Like are these people planted throughout the audience and then she just goes through and does all this stuff? She did get to one guy in the night where she was talking to somebody about something. And the whole time that she was talking about these two that she blah, 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 this whole thing, she was like, the whole time she was talking, she's like, no, they're not talking about you. They're not talking about you. And the guy's like, all right, I guess not. Like, I'm just telling you, this sounds very familiar to me. And she kept like pacing back and forth. And this one guy finally like stood up and he was like, okay, I think you're talking about me. And, she was like, okay, let's have a conversation. He's like, I really don't want to. Like, I don't want to. Like, my wife kind of like drugged me here tonight for this. Like, I don't really want to get involved with this or whatever.
Then why'd you stand up, bud?
Because I think his wife had just been pestering him about it. And so full on at the end of it, like come to find out, like he had served in like the military and a couple people that were talking about it were like couple military buddies that had just recently passed. And it was just a really like nice experience to have. And like, you could tell the dude just like the whole time he just didn't say anything. She's like, does it sound right? And he's just like shaking his head, like not engaged. It didn't seem like it was an act, you know what I mean? And so it was really hard to tell if it was true or not, but it was really cool, fucking fun experience to just see on its own. I don't know if I would go out of my way to see it again, but you know, I don't know.
Yes.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. We should.
You want to?
We should. Drunk.
Shit.
Just.
Shit.
No, but we're going to. I'll be there to fucking a green, what do you call it? Like Morphling's suit. You lock up, I'll pick you up. It won't make sense to anybody else there, but when we use the footage later, it'll be great. Just lifting you up.
Just pushing the smoke machines. Oh, God. Fucking hell. Oh, did you hear? I don't know if you picked up on anything. Did you know Game Informer just shut down in December?
To be honest with you, I didn't know they were even still a thing.
That's what I thought. I went to Game.
It's impressive to keep making it. I could see them maybe like shimming over to like an online thing.
They did. So I guess a few years, or like maybe COVID time or pre-COVID time, they had moved part of their physical magazine that they had into a digital online subscription.
Which, what are you doing? Who's paying for online digital subscriptions for things that you read?
Something I was reading about.
Show me your butthole or don't ask for my money.
Mm-hmm. Something I was reading was specifically like, it's really hard for people to buy magazines nowadays because magazines are an information dump. But
I love magazines.
Why would you pay for a magazine when you can just get the information for free on the internet? You know what I mean?
I love magazines.
I love magazines.
I love magazines for pictures, though.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm a Playboy man. You know, I'm not here to read the fucking articles.
Oh,
I am. If I'm doing it, it's like cars, guns. God, what I would give for like some like, is Thrasher still around? Like I dig
gotta be
like some sick ass fucking like shots like that, like that.
Was it CS Skate?
Like,
is that what it was? Or what was a fucking
CCS?
CCS, yeah.
CCS was the catalog.
The catalog was dope, man.
Like I want to look at like cool things. So if you show me like a cool car or cool things, if there's an article attached to it that captures my attention, cool.
Sure.
That's not what I'm here for, because yes, we live in the age of the internet where everything is basically accessible anyways. But if you get me good pictures, like I said, nudies, guns, it doesn't even have to be skateboard. Like that's just the one that popped up. I'm like a bro National Geographic.
Yeah,
like, this shit's sick.
So,
like, I'm in.
Thrasher, or like, what was the snowboarding one?
Oh God,
fuck, dude. Transworld. Was it Transworld?
Transworld. I think
they had skate and snow.
They had snowboarding, right?
Well,
snowboarder or snowboarding.
Yes.
Transworld snowboarder.
And then they had the skate one. I think they had both sides of it during the season.
Transworld. Yes.
And so,
dude, that was the fucking. So that was like the high school Playboy because they always had like this centerfold with some like some girl. Yeah, it's like, oh shit, yeah. Let me go back to watching Shaun White. He's only 11 years old and has 17 gold medal. That's fucking sick.
Yeah. So and that was
that kind of stuff.
That stuff was dope, and I think for pictures for that reason was,
and it was like currency because if you had a dope picture, you put it in your fucking binder for school.
I wish I could find a picture. I have it somewhere. I've got a picture somewhere. Old school. I think it was off of MySpace. I think I still have it floating around. I had a whole collage wall of dope ass pictures pulled from skate and snowboard and like video game magazines that covered an entire wall that was behind my bed, my futon. But it was a collage wall that I had put together between different art and shit like that. And it was fucking dope. It had music, it had musicians and stuff. Cause I had Guitar World back in the day and all that shit. And like, I remember just taking like pages out of it with an X-Acto knife and just cutting it straight and then just fucking taping it to the wall or sticking it to the wall. You know what I mean? Oh man, there was so much of that there. I think I miss magazines for that. I don't think it's just the pictures. The pictures were dope. But like when it came to gaming magazines, I loved reading about the games because it was somebody's take on a video game. You know what I mean? And that was a huge point. I was like reading the skate and snowboard magazines. Like it never made any sense because someone's like, his fucking artistic style of a kickflip. Like, bitch, it's a kickflip. Like either you can or you can't. You know what I mean? Like no one.
I don't know. There's some people that got some like weird, like stanky shit though.
Yeah. Or like the people would be like, I've never seen a dude. Like I remember watching, God, who was it? This dude only used to nollie fucking backside heel flip. And it was just like, he used to do it so perfectly that no one else could replicate it. It wasn't like Mullen or someone like that.
I know. Black dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
He skated for aesthetics.
Twan? No, what's his name? Fucking God.
Kareem something.
I don't remember. But yeah,
we're on for aesthetics. I know exactly who you're talking about.
So you used to
see, that's it.
Yeah,
like,
he used to do
some people like they just claim
nollie backside heel flips, and they were fucking dope, and they were super sick. And no one,
Ronnie Mullen,
dude, yeah,
Day One Song,
yeah, dude, fucking the old schoolers, man. I mean, we're talking about like old school, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. You know, time period where it's like Bob Burnquist and fucking Chad Muska and like all the fucking original grades.
Fuck
dude.
Chad Muska.
Dude, I remember I watched an interview not too long.
He switched to just making shoes.
I swear. I watched an interview with a bunch of these old cats nowadays, like Tony Hawk and a bunch of them, but they're like old cats nowadays. And like,
dude, Rodney Mullen was competing in like the 70s. It's like he's old. He doesn't look it though.
No, he doesn't. He's got like a weird, like youthful look to him. But and the way he talks, it's like he's so fucking like someone asked the question.
He's that like hippie Tai Chi type fucking like old guy.
Yeah, like you can catch him in white, just like, oh, what a great question to ask about a kickflip.
Yeah, the feng shui of this room.
But it's just wild. It's wild going back and seeing all. Anyway, so it kind of put me in a place of being like, fuck, dude, I miss gaming magazines because I'd gone to GameStop. I was picking up something. I needed a power cord and a bunch of things. I just happened to be at the mall. I was like, I'm going to grab this stuff. And the guy was like, oh, you haven't renewed your fucking membership with us since like 2012. I was like, well, yeah, because I don't fucking, one, I don't play console games. And two, I don't come to GameStop. Like, there's no reason for it. And we were talking. He was
2012 is when I stopped working here, bud.
Yeah. And he's like, well, you know, all right, well, okay, no big deal. It'd save you a couple dollars. But I was like, how many have you guys gotten today? And he's like, it's Sunday. We don't get a whole lot. And I was like, all right, man, I'll throw you a bone. Go ahead. And he's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, man, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I was like, yeah, dude, I used to run a GameStop. I know how it goes. I know they care about numbers. Let's just get you one for the day. He's like, dude, I appreciate it. He was just super pumped. I was like, so where's my Game Informer? He's like, oh, Game Informer closed down last month. And I was like, you motherfucker. He's like, I've got some of the last few that we have here. And it was like Dragon Age Veilguard. And I was like, nah, it's all right. You can keep that one.
No, yes, keep it. Yeah.
But it was weird to think that, holy shit, like that's an end of an era. But like we've come so drastically far now that like we've started to the things that were once super important are just no longer there. You know what I mean? And what's left over is like questions of why AAA continues to do the same thing over and over again, even though the industry and people and everyone fucking hate it. Why do we keep seeing AAA industries go down this path of bullshit? You know what I mean? And it's like, I wonder if it's just because we've forgotten what the love of video games was supposed to be. That's all those magazines used to be, was just loves of video games. So check this out. So I'm looking at it. There was a Kickstarter, I think just got final wrapped up. And I had pledged for it. I'd followed it. I was going to pledge for it back when it was initially entered, but it was like, nah, kind of whatever. I think their goal or whatever was like 150,000 or some shit like that. It's gotten $1.8 million on a pledge. It's basically a bunch of guys that are trying to preserve Electronic Gaming Monthly. And there's a compendium that they have designed with all of the electronic monthlies that have been done in like a full fucking encyclopedia, basically. And so they have this whole fucking thing that they're doing. They're putting all of the electronic monthlies together, this giant compendium, and then they're also introducing a PDF thing for it where they're going to give you each of the magazines in full on a PDF form as well. And it's like, it's fucking sick. And like, you just go back to like, those are people that just gave a shit about trying to preserve something. And it's so sick. You know how much it is for late pledges? If you went in right now to do it, it's $60. $60 will get you the fucking whole compendium.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, dude, it's dope.
That's
man.
sick.
It's fucking sick, dude. It's sick. I'm trying to like keep something like, you know, PC World, stuff like that. Like PC World was a little out of like off the rails a little bit. Even PlayStation Magazine, Nintendo Power, even Nintendo Power was just like an advertisement, like book in general. Yeah. But like some of those old school gaming magazines were like where I got all my information on how games were being developed and where they were going and like what I was on the lookout for. And of course, you know, going to YouTube or whatever nowadays, game ranks and whatever, to try and figure out what a new game, because there's so many fucking games. Look at like Steam in general, like the new Steam list. Like it's between shovelware and fucking, you know, titty porn games and just like
Easy.
dog shit indie stuff, you know. There's a lot of stuff to sift through. It's hard to find what's going to be the next great thing, especially because you know you're not spending money on those quadruple A games anymore.
Can you imagine being a game writer? Like, oh, I gotta find something good. You're just like, just fucking swing, miss, just download, play. Yeah, shit sucks. Just going through a list of just Steam games.
And I mean, like, kudos to the small developers that are putting their little fucking RPG Maker games out on Steam and selling it for like $1 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, hey, you know, they're doing their dream of being a game developer, you know? But at the same point in time, like, I'm looking for something that's going to last, you know what I mean? Something I can really sink my teeth into. I'm looking for the next Vampire Survivors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something small, stupid like that. That's $3 that just explodes into like craziness.
Yeah, I think I've just given up. I think my future of gaming is you guys can pick a couple games that I download, and I'm just going to. I've never had more fun. First off, I've got to like sit here. Aside from podcasts, maybe like 2 nights, because there's just always some stupid shit pulling me somewhere here or there.
Yeah.
But I keep bringing my Steam Deck. And let me tell you, I'm having so much fun. I've been playing Cyberpunk. I got the Phantom Liberty DLC. I'm just cruising through that. It's fucking great, dude. And then I think back on like Red Dead Redemption. It's fucking great too. I think that's just the games that I want.
I think we've
I'm not dealing with any fucking cheaters. If there's like a weird bug, I could just go on Reddit and they're like, oh, if you just jump 3 times and fucking whistle a tune, you get past it.
Yeah.
Like just give me shit like that. Yeah. Make shit like that. I'm literally, I really thought about this. I want to play all of the Elder Scrolls. And I just want to throw as many fucking mods on them as I can. Yeah. Just like it's a brand new fucking game. Go back to as early as they'll let mod support. and just play it and like just I'll just upscale it to fucking 4K and see what happens.
Is it an age thing or is it a lifestyle thing that keeps you from being able to do games in the sense of where we were before? Like, is it because of where you live and what you're doing now that like keeps you from being able to play online games? Like in the sense of like, come and play Tarkov, come and play Marvel Rivals. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like I never play fucking games with you anymore.
I think it's the kind of the turmoil of my situation, if you will.
Do I need to bring trank darts over?
No, I think it's because I'm not like steadily working, that everybody knows that I have all this like extra time for shit.
Gotcha.
And it's a lot of like fucking like running around and doing this and that I think that's most of it.
Because realistically, I do want okay, the perfect example. We used to do the Freaky Fridays. So I have a Freaky Friday. So have you heard of the game called Liar's Bar?
Is that the Rush Roulette one?
Yeah. Where you play like
I haven't played it, but I've seen a couple clips of it.
So I got me and Sean on board with it, and I'm fucking waiting to make sure to figure out. Yeah.
How many can you have in it?
I think it's 6.
Oh, that's a game night.
I want the game nights. I want to play because you are right. It's coming back to this point of like, I'm just playing single player games nowadays, or I'm playing multiplayer games as a single player. And that's weird too. Where like, you know, the MMO space, like I just started playing this game called Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. And so
I was going to ask you, every time I log in, I see that you're on that.
I am hooked right now. It's old school. It's wants to be the spiritual successor to EverQuest. So it's a new game in the old school like way of EverQuest, where it's like there's no maps, there's no hand holding. You get quests if you can find them, and they just tell you what they need, and you just kind of have to understand it and follow it and just get on top of it. Leveling is slow and all these things. And the game is designed around group content. You can see that the game is designed like the way that it's early access. And like, so I've been watching the devs live streams. There's only like a team of like maybe 10 people or something like that making this game. And like, he was even said, like the lead dev guy or whatever, someone was like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think? He's like, guys, honestly, we have so many fucking plans up. He's like, if I could find like 2 more developers to work with this, like, he's like, we could be smoking. He's like, but I have to work with what's in my means. And it's like, I can't get the PvP out, the druid out, and all this stuff. People are like, it's a great game. He's like, yeah, it's a great game, but it needs all the quests, it needs the NPCs, it needs lore. Like, he's like, we this is early access, and early access for a reason. We wanted to get into your guys' hand. 1, and he's like an honest dude. He's like, 1, to generate income, and 2, because the more people that have it in their hands, the more feedback we can get, so we can say, okay, this is what we have to do. He's like, but
helps you prioritize, does everything.
Exactly. And so like, when you look at early access like that, it's like, oh, that fucking makes sense, you know? And this guy is like, he's trying to be honest. He's like, he was just showing off Druid, and people are asking him a bunch of shit about the other things. He's like, I'm literally just trying to show you guys Druid and what we're working on right now. He's like, you can ask all these fucking questions. He's like, I don't know if I necessarily have these answers. He's like, I want to get the PvP like servers up. He's like, but you guys have to understand, PvP hasn't really been tested, so we're going to throw PvP servers in, and then it's going to break, and you guys are all going to get angry and mad and yell and scream, and I'm not going to have time to fix it. So what do you want, Druid or PvP? And everybody's like, well, yeah, Druid sounds fun. All right, let's do
like
this.
A bunch of people like lined up, and there's just like a poster board of like the gaming, like almost like just like a poster, like you'd see like a movie poster, like, oh, this is the game of the title, and everybody's screaming like what they want. So one guy's like, hey, what's up? They're like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, I'm the guy working on it. Like, what do you want? Like, stop screaming at that, please. Like, just like if you don't just have like a civil conversation.
Yeah, tell me
like, no, we want fucking PvP. Like, I'm right here. Come on, dude. Like, please. Fucking, we want Druid. Like, yeah, okay. Like, listen, I'm being honest. That's why I'm here with you right now. I'm trying to have a conversation.
It's also dope to be super ground floor like this on an MMO, where as you're playing, I keep logging into servers, and because people, when you your servers aren't shared, or your characters aren't shared between different servers, so when you log on, you see the same people, and because progression is not fast, it's fairly slow. You can play together in a sense, and the game is designed around the group content. When you keep logging onto the same servers over and over again, you keep seeing the same people. the people on my friends list, I keep seeing on the same servers. So every time I log in, people will message me, "Hey, what's going on? You fucking look at the group." It's like,
I kind of miss that.
you know what I mean? And it's just like this really cool, surreal environment where as you're running through the world, you're asking these people, what about this? And they're like, I don't really know. And then you're asking somebody else and they're like, oh, well, it's kind of like this. And then you go back to those other people like, hey, I found it out. It's this, this, and this. Like, oh, that's dope. Thank you very much. Like I was leveling in an area trying to.
It's like the early days of fucking Gray Zone.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It's very much the early days of that, where it's like everybody's doing stuff together. And so like I'm farming something out and I keep seeing this guy come past me and he was coming to run my area where I was farming. And I was like, dude, I'm just camping here. I was like, I'm just trying to level and I'm just trying to get this stuff. He's like, okay, cool. He's like, I'm just trying to kill some mobs here for a quest. Is it cool if I hit it? It's like, yeah, I'll take off to town. I'll be back. Do whatever you gotta do. So I left. And when I came back, he was like, hey man, I got that quest done. Thank you very much. And then opened up trade with me and then just dropped all the loot that came off the guys. I was like, no, you can hold it. He's like, no, man, it's cool. I took your spot. Here's your stuff. You know what it is? All right, cool. So then he left and I was off in a different area and I got some other loot that I had already got. So as I was passing by again, a day later, I saw the dude and I was like, hey, open up trade, drop him some stuff. He's like, oh dude, this is dope. I was like, hey, I got it off to somebody. And then just left. You know what I mean? It's just like this surreal environment where everybody's kind of learning and growing together. And
before it's a cool place to be.
It's a very cool place to be because before it gets toxic or just like overwhelmed, because like even if you go to the wiki for this game, there's not much. You know what I mean? That's how ground floor it is, that there's just, they have information, but it's not good information. You know what I mean? And because the devs are still working and twisting and moving shit around, like that wiki is outdated within like a couple weeks, couple months. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's fucking cool. It's cool. And that's the games that I'm looking for. It's something, but because it's designed around group content, and I don't always want to do group content, like I'm playing it like a solo player game. So then going back into trying to find like a good solo player game to play is like, there's something I'm caught between the middle of wanting to just have fun and do my own thing and wanting to play games with my friends. And I think that might be just why Marvel Rivals has taken my life so drastically.
Yeah.
Because everybody I know is playing it, you know?
It's just a good game.
It's good. I'm silver 2 right now. I'm almost a gold.
You ain't never getting gold.
Probably not.
Hey, what happened to Pirate Software? What's going on?
So
why is he canceled? I know it has something to do with WoW. They talk. I have no clue what's going on.
So there is a thing called, so in Classic, there's a hardcore server that they do. In WoW Hardcore, if your character dies, it's deleted. So you lose all your progress and everything. So he's in a guild with, I think, with a bunch of other big streamers. I think Soda Poppin's in it, and a bunch of other people. I can't remember exactly who's all going through it, what the controversy is. Anyway, they went to do a raid pool, and pool went to shit. Pool went to absolute shit. Someone called for a run because, again, the idea behind a hardcore server is like, if you die, you're gone.
So they said a lot of this. Tell it to me. Your ChatGPT.
Okay.
More simple.
Okay. Character can die.
You're struggling.
I am. I don't know how to like dumb this down even more, but because your character can die.
You start saying they did a pull, they did this.
Okay, so the group of people, they're in a raid. So say 30 people, 40 people, 20 people, doesn't matter. I don't know how many people are in it, but a group of people went into a boss fight and think of it like Elden Ring, but there's other ads and stuff around. The pull is 3, 2, 1, go. That's your pull. So tanks go in, get aggro, people get prepped and ready to go, and you start the fight. That's how a pull starts. Somewhere.
You're saying pool or pull?
Pull.
Okay.
Pull. Pull. Anyway, so the poll happens.
You saying Pam or Pam? Is there a B at the end?
So anyway, something goes wrong in that pool, and because of that, it goes to shit. And people are at a point where like, we are not going to make this through. Like, this is really bad. We have to readjust. Whoever was raid leading at the time said, run. Let's book it out. Usually when you run, you dip out to a place that's safe, make sure you turn around, get everything set and ready to go. I guess he dipped out and just kept going. He Forrest Gumped and just kept going. And so because of that, it was like an abandonment thing. And so in a hardcore server, there's this whole thing about, you know, commodity, and you know, you're very much so, you're part of the team, you're part of the guild, you're part of the group. If we go down together with the ship type of thing. But because he dipped out, there's a lot of like, people were kind of pissed off at him about that. Now, that would have been it, but because he went on his stream and people were talking about it, and then he started doubling down and people giving him shit, he started banning people from his chat, started banning people from his subreddit, started banning people on Twitter because of it. A lot of people got really fucking upset about it. And then I guess whoever the guild lead is, I think it's Soda Pop, and I can't remember, but they kicked him from the guild. And so there's just a lot of just drama going around that. It's a fucking game. You know what I mean? And he's just like, it's a game. I did a thing. He's like, I wasn't going to lose my character over it. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's
all I am seeing.
His community is kind of getting really weird though too. People are he's gotten really big into Twitch, I think, because he blew up with his shorts and everything. He's really smart, started becoming really, really popular.
People don't like him though.
No, and like even his game that he's been
I don't understand it.
Heartbound has been getting a lot of negative reviews recently of people being like, Heartbound, pump, Heartbound.
Are you saying pull or pull?
His fuck man, I'm sick. Stop hammering me so much. But the people have been
Heart bound.
Bound.
Are you saying Pam?
It's called Elder Scrolls. Anyway, so I guess because of his Twitch and how much he's been doing like live streaming and all things like that, people are like, he's kind of abandoned fixing or finishing his game in a sense. And so now he's getting like negative reviews on that. And then I think he got reviewed wrong because of this whole thing on WoW. And it's like, it's a weird dynamic to have happen. But then you just realize it's like, that's just kind of the toxicity of WoW. Like all of that.
I guess I always thought he was a really cool guy.
Seems like it. I mean,
he has great talking points. He seems like he's very supportive, especially of like indie gamers and stuff like that. I always think he's interesting to like listen to. But man, like this came out, I was like, what the fuck? So like I click into the comments like hoping somebody will explain it to me in ways that I'll understand what the fuck everybody's saying. And it is just hate. Well, that's what you be for being. That's what you get for being such a cocky prick. You guys, his dad worked at Blizzard. Leave him alone. Like, there's just like so much shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it's toxic. But then also at the same point in time, you think about it, it's like, well, Asmongold has good talking points, and he's a fucking toxic prick too. Like, I think it's just
I accept that though.
Yeah,
I accept him for all that he is. Fucking weird little fucking
weasel man,
lycanthropy, fucking Wendigo, fucking looking ass.
That thing, that video, the night cam. It's like, guys, it's not me.
That's what's outside of my house right now. It's just Asmongold.
Oh man, yeah. So I mean, it's just wild to see, but it also makes me smile because, damn it, WoW, don't ever change. And it's not the game I'm saying don't change. I'm talking about the people. People are fucking toxic. That's what it's like. Everybody you talk to is like, whoever goes from WoW to like Final Fantasy is like, this game has no toxicity. It's like, yeah, the community is like, nah, it's all right. Shit happens. Like every time you fuck up a pull or something like that, most people are like, nah, it's okay. We'll do it again. In WoW, one fuck up on a pull, like it literally, like you will watch people rage. Like you will lose keys because like, you didn't pull the right thing or put people in the right place on like a 20 key, and like DPS are like, you don't know what you're fucking doing, I'm out, and they'll just bounce. It's like, okay, key blown. Like, god damn it, like you fucking cocksuckers. Oh man, I fucking
sounds like a great game.
It is and isn't. I mean, I wouldn't put it past myself to dive back into WoW at some point. I think I was talking to Chris about this. He's like, do you miss it? And I was like, I do. I miss the raids. I miss raid leading. I miss just playing in a group. I miss just theory crafting and doing stuff. I was like, but I just don't miss the people in the game and the grind. You know what I mean? Or the day-to-day, like having to log in and shit. I don't miss the sub. I don't miss the cost of the expansions. Like that I don't necessarily miss, you know? I like Final Fantasy because I can take it. So I'm old man when I play video games nowadays. You know what I mean? I don't need anything moving faster than you know. Whatever.
Listen, I've been playing games on like couches and like outdoor chairs and stuff. It's not bad. Kind of into old man gaming.
Dude, old man gaming. Like, that's Sean's dad.
Only way it could get better, Steam Deck with those fucking glasses that make it look like you're playing on like 160 inch. Just out by the pool.
Yeah.
Cigar.
Yeah.
That's old. Ooh, that's old. Fucking like John Daly gaming.
Yeah. Well, it's like Sean's dad will do it. He'll pop on and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do some stuff. Da, da, da. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm going to bed." And then just like leave. And it's like, did you complete anything? Did you do anything? And then you just realize, you're just gaming. You're not there for a purpose other than just logging on. It's like that's what I want to be, man.
That's gaming.
That's gaming, dude. So
just log in and talk shit for about 5.5 minutes. Like, all right, well, anyways, I'll talk to you later.
So also talking about the advancements in video games. Because we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Why do I see? Okay.
Okay. What do you think I'm going to say? Just out
no,
of
no. I see the segue and I hear the tone in your voice, Trevor.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fucking great.
Okay. Show me how great it's going to be.
Original Doom is playable on a PDF.
What?
PDF, an actual PDF file, uses enough computing power and megabits that Original Doom can run on a PDF.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so Google it. I watched it happen.
Like you can play. Like you can run the process, or you can play.
You can play.
What
Doom.
are your buttons?
I don't know how it works. But I watched Doom being played on a PDF. I just Google it. Just Google it and look at it. And I'm telling you, that's what I'm talking about. The like someone was like, I read the article, it was like, move over toasters, Doom's playable in a PDF. And I was like, what? And I clicked on it and then I watched the video and I was like, no fucking way, dude. Doom can run on anything. On anything. The video I sent you today of like just the startup sounds and like and like him just going through DOS prompts to like get the game to run.
Yeah.
There was something. It was like a fucking. You know that scene in Ratatouille where he takes a bite and he like.
Yeah. It's like takes you back. You're a little kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Hitting the buttons on it. Yeah.
I remember sitting in my dad's office. Up in the garage, up in at my dad's house. Before we had the dojo, it was sectioned off. The front of it was like tool benches, wood, and all the stuff. And then the two back rooms, we built a false wall. He had like a workout area with like the Bowflex and some weights and like his stereos. And then the side one, he had his office or whatever. And I remember I'd sneak up there the fucking middle of the night, run up there, like turn on the computer. And I remember hitting all the DOS prompts because I remember watching him do it and everything, get DOS prompts running. And I was like, what? I'm talking like 94, 95. I was like, what, 6 years old, 5 years old, some shit like that. 6 years old, just DOS prompt to like play Doom. And like, just fucking jamming E1, M1.
What's crazy is like, even just like a simple command prompt is so much more, not just work, like not like computer knowledge than just like fucking like, because now it's just like you just click and you just fucking mouse and like stuff like that. Like
I was doing
like
that
information. That's like from the age where like playing stuff like that came with a level of information, and it usually meant like the higher you went with this, like they were like a synonymous thing that grew together.
Yeah.
Now it's just fucking like, oh, okay, I'll go fucking
it's like
farm fucking wood blocks somewhere.
I still remember how to write an HTML page. Like word for word, like HTML body copy. Like
thanks, MySpace.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even prior to the MySpace phase, is like I learned how to do that because that was where technology was going with computers. So it was the other day, Jacenna had was doing something for Will's computer or whatever, and she was like, "Well, I don't know about this, and this," and so I had Will a long time ago download TeamViewer, and I was like, "Well, let me pop onto TeamViewer and like let me see what's going on in the computer and go for that." Oh, she's like, "Okay." She got me logged on. I went through, I was doing a bunch of stuff, and I brought up command prompt, and I was running some things in there. She was just like, how do you know how to do that? And like, part of me wasn't like that, like the Chad thing of like, yeah, well, it's because I'm a fucking guru. No, it was just like, I was like, oh, I've been doing this a long time. But then I started thinking, it was like, well, this is how I learned to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you ask me right now on Windows 10 or 11, how to run certain instances to find things, I don't know. I only know how to find it through the command prompt. Like, I don't know how to find a CFC check on the system at all, unless I run the command prompt.
And just so everybody knows, Windows 11 is just running command prompts. It's like you're just finding the shortcuts for it to do it for you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I just have no idea how to do it in the system. And I get it. It's back to the stage of like where there's cars that don't have caps and stuff for oil or radiator fluid and things like that. They're designed specifically that when you get low on those, they ping the dealership immediately, and the dealership calls you and say, hey, your oil's low. You need to come in. We'll get you on the schedule, because so many people fuck that up. Like, same thing with like my BMW does not have a dipstick. Wild, right? I have to use the computer system to tell me whether or not the oil is at a certain point. I can't just pull the dipstick and check the oil. And for me, that's gross. I fucking hate that. But then I started thinking, we're getting to the point now where that's all people are going to know. Kids, like the next generation, those are all they will know. They'll never know what a dipstick is, a telephone, core keypads, stuff like that.
Now that you say that, I did just see something. I thought it was because it was just like it must have been like an electric vehicle or something like that. But there's a Mercedes or something that like it voids the warranty if you open the hood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And where they have like, there's a little slot on the side that you push. That's where you refilled your windshield wiper fluid.
Yep.
And that's like the only thing you're supposed to get under there for. That's fucking insane.
And they did it so
I figured it was just because it was like an EV.
They were
like a whole.
Someone had made a joke that it was marketed towards women.
Okay.
Understandable. But then it was also like, no, it was less along the lines of marketing it towards women, just marketing it towards people that don't understand vehicles. Like, especially when it comes to Mercedes or BMWs and stuff, there's like a very specific, like you can't put non-synthetic oil in those vehicles. People will put non-synthetic oil in there and then their car blows up. They're like, we don't understand what happened. So they're buying these new cars, taking them to random places, and you're not finding specific mechanics anymore. You're just taking it to a Jiffy Lube, which is 27-year-old Jim Bob or whatever. You know what I mean? He's working on a newer car. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Or it's some, they put it in the computer system and the computer tells them what they need to put in it. You know what I mean? It's very unlikely that you're going to find someone who knows how to work on a vehicle, So it's like the old school stuff that we had that knowledge. I know how to work on cars. I know how to work on computers because we had to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have money at the time to fix cars, to take it to a mechanic. I had to fix it myself. I remember me and my dad fucking fixed a swing arm under his truck. And that was the worst thing in the entire world. It was brutal, man.
Up until like out of high school, I did my own oil changes. Stuff like that. Like, it's like, but nowadays they make it so you can't. They make it so like it's impossibly hard to get to and shit like that. And like you need a jack and a lift. It used to just be like you just fucking drove it up on a couple 2x4s, fucking 10 millimeter underneath, and pop it out, bing bang boom.
Dude, seriously. I mean, and it's just it's wild to see the direction in which things have gone. And again, there's that question of, do they make it that way so you have to take it in? So you have to spend money?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right, exactly. But
absolutely.
But at the same point in time, it's also like, that's why I'm so adamant about not buying vehicles after certain points. But then now you're getting back into finding like a classic vehicle or like early 2000s or late 90s car that's in good condition, that's not got 400,000 miles on it. It's damn near impossible. So you're going to be forced into this direction. The thing is, if I ever get that money and I can buy it, like if I go to Sean, I'm like, this is the car I want. This is where I want it. I'm asking, it needs to have a dipstick. It needs to have access to X, Y, and Z. Well, we don't have it. Okay, then fucking custom order it. Like that's the only car I am buying is if it is custom ordered to my specifics. I want access to all of that. I don't want to have to take it to a dealership or anything. And if you can't do it, I'm not buying a car from you. You know what I mean?
You're not buying a car anymore, bud.
I'm moving someplace inner city where I can take transit everywhere I need to go, or ride a bike. Because I'm not doing it anymore. Or I'll save up that money and then I'm fucking putting, 80 grand into like an old school BMW or something for my weekend car.
Yeah.
Did you hear the creative director from BioWare and Dragon Age Veilguard has left the company?
Yeah, no shit. Fucking. I thought you were gonna say they fucking jumped off a building.
No, God, no. That's too convenient. No, they put in their resignation. They were like, well, thank you very much for the opportunity. Blah, 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 blah. I moved on to something else. Can't wait to see what happens in the industry. And it's like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Fuck off.
Sad. And then Borderlands 4. I was reading this thing where they were like, we're going to tone down the toilet humor in Borderlands 4.
You better fucking not.
So I think they're toning down.
Do you not feel the pendulum swinging? You gotta ramp that shit up a little bit.
Well, I think they were saying that Borderlands 3 was a little bit too like trash humor. Like they want it to be more like genuine humor and not so much like every like thing is about poop or something like that, And I guess someone had like wrote the creative director and was like, so are you saying there's going to be no toilets at all in this? Ha ha ha. And like, he was like, I'm not saying there's not going to be any toilets, but if this game ships with some skibbity bullshit in it, he's like, I will cry real tears.
Okay.
And then he was like,
you got me back a little bit.
He's like, Paul Tassi had made a joke about there being a gun in there called the Hawk 2A. And one of my devs came to me and was like, are we actually putting this in the game? And he's like, and because of that, he's like, it made me want to stick my hand down a fucking garbage disposal. And so I'm like, okay, I'm kind of okay with where you're going with that,
Yes. God, we gotta. So here's playing devil's advocate.
Sure.
Borderland does do a lot of calls on certain things. Mm-hmm. A lot of fun little Easter eggs.
Sure.
Are we just the ones that are outgrowing the Easter eggs?
No, because is
there going to be a generation that finds it funny?
I mean, there will be, and it will be the generation that plays this game. It'll be the generation that is streaming on Twitch, on YouTube, that'll be making the videos. It'll be the younger kids. I just looked up what Skibbity Toilet is.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Me and Sean.
Well, I know it's like a meme or something like that.
So me and Sean.
If there is some hidden meaning, some spiritual Shangri-La behind it.
No. It's a mashup song someone did as like a joke. It's like a 2-minute fucking song. Someone had taken Gmod, like the game Gmod from Valve, and just made like a stupid thing out of it. And for some reason, it blew up with the younger generation. And it's just become this fucking generational meme that exists now that's in Fortnite. You can get a Skibbity Toilet backpack thing or some bullshit. It's just exploded. So me and Sean were talking about it, and he's like, Sean was like, all I know is it's a Gmod thing. I was like, me too. And I was like, every time I keep hearing of the Skibbity thing, I keep thinking of the Little Big song. And Sean was like, yeah, that's what I thought it was. I finally went to
Little Big song.
It's the band Little Big, these Russian dudes that just do these really off the wall fucking songs. It's great. It's great. I fucking love Little Big. They're great. I'll show you the song later. And it is that song, but it's mashed up with like a Timberland thing or some weird shit. And it's not great by any means, but it's like catchy and fun. It's like, they picked the pitch up on it and they sped it up a little bit. So it's like this weird thing. And it was designed as like a joke meme thing for Gmod. So for me, I can understand why it was just so stupid, but why it has exploded into something else, I do not know. I have no idea why. And I don't know why it's so important now. Like where has gaming gone that memes are the fucking, and that's how you know Fortnite is the most predatory game on the planet. You know what I mean? When they are the
Is it?
pretty damn close.
I have something bookmarked for me to like read about later that it goes into the dark side of Roblox.
Oh
and
yeah,
it being the most predatory thing on the internet.
And it is because I don't think parents understand how Roblox works, but it's mostly the people that are behind making the Roblox that can make it so easy for some little kid to just click a button and spend money. Like that's
there's like Roblox casinos.
There it is. There's a whole Roblox. There's like a whole shooter thing, like Tiny Bit Shooters, or whatever the fucking game that came out was like Battle Blocks? Battle Bits. That was a Roblox game. Me and Chris played it on Roblox before it went big. You know what I mean? So like you can do a lot of stuff in Roblox. Like a lot of stuff. Like the game engine itself is actually really, really impressive. And like what people can do in Roblox is really impressive. And what's even more impressive is that most of it is completely free for the younger and I'm talking about like young generations of kids, like from 5 to like 9, 10, 11 years old, to be able to get in and like build games and do stuff like that. That's cool. It's weirder when those kids who started on Roblox are still on Roblox, but they're now like in their like 20s and they're still, you know, hanging around the kiddie games and stuff. That's weird to me. It's weird to me. I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. That's a weird one. But then again, there's the next point of the people of understanding. Well, it's really easy to like finish missions in Roblox, but like if you die a lot because it's a kid thing, at the start of it, there's a button that says like, oh, click here and you'll skip the thing. And then so little kids just keep clicking buttons and they're spending money. And it's like, that's really like a nasty thing. But that's because the kids don't know. You know what I mean? They're just, if you're a 5-year-old looking at Roblox and it says skip because you keep failing a thing, you don't realize what the money is being spent. But when you get to Fortnite, see the Fortnite thing that fucking pisses me off is that they introduce these things specifically because it's popular right now. And they know they can get people to spend money on it. And so what do kids ask for Christmas? Oh, get me V-Bucks, get me V-Bucks, get me V-Bucks. You know, $20 V-Bucks, $50 V-Bucks here and there. You know what I mean? And then these kids just buy these dumbass skins because it's whatever this like skibbity toilet thing is for a backpack. Yeah. Fuck, man. This shit makes me ill.
So yeah, I'm going back to Atari.
I'd play some old school Atari. Oh, me and Sean were looking at it. So he was talking about how he was like, oh, you know, a JRPG that got me into JRPGs was Phantasy Star 4. And I was like, fuck, that was like Genesis time. He's like, yeah, I was on the Genesis. And he's like, oh, I'm going to play it. I have this bundle that I bought called, it was the Sega Mega Bundle Genesis Collection or something like that. And it had all these Genesis games on it and everything. You bought it on Steam and you could play it. And it was fucking sick. I was like, oh, cool. And I went to go look it up because I was like, oh, man, maybe I'll snag this, see what's on there. It's not on Steam anymore. They delisted it last month. And I was like, whoa, that's weird. They delisted it because all the Sonic games are now coming out on Steam. And so like Sonic Origins, all the pack that had all the old games.
They're re-releasing all the old games because now there's Sonic movies and Knuckle movies, and they realize we can make some fucking money.
So they ripped all the stuff off it. So if you didn't buy those things at that point and download and play those specific games, like you lost that whole collection. It's gone. Doesn't exist anymore. And that goes back to that idea that you don't own your fucking games. Whatever you're paying for on Steam at any point in time, that shit can go in an instant and you have no...
Did he lose them?
Gone. Sean bought them. He downloaded it again. He's like, the only game is the Phantasy Star because I downloaded it originally. But the whole collection is gone. He couldn't play another game on that collection.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, dude. And that's where we are in video. You have to remember, like, you don't own a single fucking thing, dude. It's all just borrowed. You spent money and like, so what happens now? How do you do this? Okay. I put in more than my 2 hours on Steam. I've owned this game for 10 years. They've ripped it off. Can I get a refund for that?
Should be able to. If you're not allowing me anymore, especially if you had it prior to the license agreement changing.
Sure. Or again, if it's not a live service game or something we know is going to die, if it's a single player game, You know what I mean? Or something like that in that nature, where like it doesn't require online services and stuff, but the developers, the publishers have just ripped it and no longer available for anyone to play with. Like, I should be allowed my money back from whatever I spent originally for that. And if I bought it new, that means you owe me $60. You know what I mean? Even if the game is 10 years old now and it's down to $12, like I spent $60 on it. Tell me why I can't have that game.
Yeah.
Oh, because you want to re-release it? It's the same thing. I was looking at
that's the shittiest part.
So I was looking at Skyrim. Skyrim is getting a re-release. Obviously, they always do a re-release, but it's like a remastered, updated version thing.
Yeah,
that's like with like all these different things, but they're gonna resell it and things. And I think that's where everything is going. I started noticing it was like, how easy or how much money does it cost versus building a new game, right? A new game costs, look at Concord, $10 million over
$100 million.
$100 million. They said it's probably more
over 10 years.
Over 10 years. Versus just remastering and re-releasing a game that will sell. You know what I mean? Like, a game will sell. You know that there's a clientele for certain things. It's easy. Like Silent Hill 2, the Resident Evil 2 and 3, or 2 and 3 got re-released, right? Like what other big one did they just do? What else did they fucking? Oh, they're doing the
Final Fantasies.
Final Fantasy. They're doing the Metal Gear Solid 3. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about just remastering that probably doesn't take an arm and a leg and a fairly small team to pump out.
No,
that's going to generate a ton of money. It just, I don't know, man. I think I'm not going to buy remastered games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do and I don't. I do because like some of them, they got their hooks in me.
I agree. Okay.
And I want to, but yes, ideally I would have the console and I could find a good copy at like a GameStop or something like that.
Well,
that would make me 100% happier than it would be giving them my money again.
For sure. Because again, when you go back to like, if I'm looking at a remastered game, like from an SNES, okay, I'm a little bit more likely to jump on it. Like me and Sean were talking about it. Secrets of Mana.
Yeah.
It's something that we had played way back in the day. Secrets of Mana I think it was on PS2 or N64. God, I don't remember where Secret of Mana was. Anyway, Secret of Mana got a re-release. I was like, oh, fucking sick. And I looked it up and it's gotten super negative reviews because people are like, this is just a piss poor port. Like whoever did this just did a awful job at this game. And it's like, ooh, that's another negative too. Cause like, you're probably not the same team that's doing it, right? It's the same publisher or whoever's got the IP, but it could be anybody who's fucking doing the development of that. It's like,
yeah.
Ooh, and if all you're doing is just trying to like turn it quickly to get it out so you can make a quick buck on it, ooh, that feels gross too.
Yeah. That's the kind of shit that like ruins the memory of what it used to be, you know?
Yeah.
Makes you sad.
I don't know where the direction of video games has to go anymore for me to feel comfortable in video games. Like this Pantheon game is a good example of like a small team wanting to build an MMO that started on Kickstarter, which is not likely to really do it. Like those games don't really go far, but like you have a dedicated audience and a dedicated team to make it. It's like, that's going back to indie, you know, give indie your money, give indie your time. And then outside of it, it's like, but then you look at like some of the big name AAA stuff and it's like, yeah, do I want to play new Naughty Dog game? Yes, I do. Am I going to fucking spend the money on it? Probably not. But I do want to play it. I'll wait till the controversy comes out. Then I'll dive.
There's a chick with a sword and she's hitting them like Skyrim.
Oh, Christ.
All right, kids. Well, happy Monday. I hope this was the episode that you asked for and wanted.
Mm-hmm. Well, we talked about
don't forget to thank Kid Rock for Christmas.
Yeah, he did come through this year. All right, guys, we're out of here.